be serious, man.
The street boss from Chicago's West Side,
Nigga, West Side.
who was responsible for executing the contract hit on DMX's close friend and Latin King chief, Rudy Rangel Jr., aka Kato,
We miss you.
is a straight-up gangster. Since he was paralyzed in 1999 after he was hit in the back with a bullet, he has ruthlessly commanded his gang from the confines of a wheelchair.
Nigga, West Side.
For Corner Hustlers leader, Labar Broman Spann has never been known for trying to pretend he's something he's not. That well-earned reputation for frankness continued in a federal courtroom in 2019, where Broman was being cross-examined by prosecutors in his trial on racketeering charges, alleging he conspired with others to commit 6 gangland murders from 2000 to 2003, including the killing of Kato. In 2 days on the witness stand, Broman repeatedly admitted he was part of Chicago's West Side gang scene.
West Side, motherfucker.
He's called himself old school, a leader, a person other like-minded gangsters turn to for help and treated with respect.
Nigga, West Side.
But what he isn't, according to Broman, is a murderer.
Kato ended up putting an indictment out for El Chapo, and it ended up being linked to some guys that they link you to online. 2 guys by the name of the Flores Twins. Now, what's your knowledge or your history with the Flores Twins?
Crazy that you said that, because I don't know them cats, you feel me? And really, my homie, when I came home, my homie was like, man, he want me to holler at his man. So I'm like, who your man? He like the dude Cali. Now, Cali supposed to been working for the Twins because he was fucking with them tough. So he was fucking with the BMF niggas from Atlanta or whatever. That's what they were saying.
Okay.
But at the same token, you know, when they got popped, he was so loyal to him. When I first meet him, he telling me about the Flores Twins, saying, goddamn it, how he met up with Kato's wife. Because, you know, one of the Flores Twins fucked with her.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting her $1 billion supposed to be owed them or whatever. But make a long story short, he like, man, he want my rep me now to he'll pay my rep me now to say that the Flores Twins paid us to get down on Kato. And I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about, homie. I ain't had shit to do with that shit. But I'm looking at him like, you suspect. Fuck, you look like paying a motherfucker. So really, he was working. So I'm like, no, homie, I don't know what you're talking about. You feel me? And I really spent the off on him. And that's the first time I'm being around a motherfucker who actually was fucking with them cats. But other than that, I ain't never knew them cats around there.
And so what ended up happening with him?
Shit, Cali ended up getting killed. I want to say some months after that. Yeah, a few months after that, he ended up getting killed. Somewhere out south, I guess he was just coming back from out of town. I think he was coming from the 8th, because, you know, he had a crib down there. You know, he was one of them dudes, really was up from fucking with them niggas, you feel me? I really don't know him, so I can't really go into detail about him or none of that. But, you know, I heard of him, and that's what they were saying. But he was suspect like a motherfucker to come to me and say he want a motherfucker to give a statement about the Flores Twins paying a motherfucker to do something. And the whole time, I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about, homie. But yeah, that's the first motherfucker I really met that fuck with them cats. But no, I don't know them cats, period.
And that's crazy because he came to you after you already beat the case in the state.
Yeah, so you know, it was a red flag anyway. Like, fuck you, man. You feel me? Nigga, I beat the case. That's all you need to know. You feel me? I want to fuck with them cats. And then the way I got the murder anyway, I ain't had shit to do with that shit. And then I ain't even know the cat Kato anyway. You feel me? I ain't know that shit until after the DMX video. You know, once DMX made the video, I figured out who he was. And that's when that rumor went and spread around. But you know, like I told you, the way I found out that I had the case was through when I was locked up. But I ain't know none of them kids. I ain't know K. I ain't never heard of nigga Kato. None of that shit till after the shit murder. I got the murder really. And then goddamn it, far as DMX making a video and Bet Joe I'm talking about the shit. But no, I ain't know him or the Flores Twins.
Wow. 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 BMF, the Flores Twins and El Chapo. That's one hell of a story. Broman wants everyone to believe that he never met the Flores Twins, which is true, and that he didn't even know who the fuck Kato was when he died, which is not true. It's not like the Flores Twins showed up at Broman's house with the cash for killing Kato. And of course, Broman isn't going to admit that he conspired with Donnell Squeaky Simmons, Marcus Black Ware, and Martise Shorty Nunnery to murder Kato, But do you know who did? Martise Shorty Nunnery. Bro Man was able to beat the state case for the murder of Kato because Nunnery didn't snitch on him when he got locked up in 2003. After spending over a decade in prison, Martise Shorty Nunnery had a change of heart and decided to bite the cheese for a reduced sentence when the federal government brought RICO charges against Bro Man in 2015. In the last video in our series on Killing King Kato, we did some simple math to show that Margarito Flores most likely put a $200,000 contract on Kato's life because Kato stole millions of dollars worth of cocaine from him and his twin brother. Plus, Margarito wanted to fuck Kato's wife, Valerie, anyway. Now, here's evidence from Martise Shorty Nunnery that the Flores twins did not offer to pay the vice lords $200,000 to have Kato killed. The Flores twins were big money motherfuckers, and Martise was not paid $200,000 for the hit.
And what did you and Fred discuss in Fred's car?
I told him that Labar had got the job done and asked him about the money. When would he have the money?
And what did Fred say?
He said he's going to call Doug and get on top of getting the money.
Now, I think that's the first time we've discussed someone named Doug.
Yes.
Who's Doug?
Doug is the guy that Fred works for.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Fred sold drugs for Doug.
And remind the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what gang did Fred associate with?
The conservative vice lords.
And was it your understanding that Doug was also a conservative vice lord?
Yes.
So, your understanding was, Doug was higher up in the gang than Fred?
Yes.
For those that don't know, Latin kings and vice lords are generally considered allied gangs under the People's Nation. The Flores twins were Latin kings, dealing drugs with Kato's authorization and his crew's muscle. According to Martise Shorty Nunnery, Doug was a high-ranking member of the conservative vice lords. Doug told Fred, another conservative vice lord, about a $200,000 hit that the Flores twins put out on Kato. Martise testified that he was a 5-star general elite, unknown vice lord. Fred told Martise about the contract on Kato's head, and the two decided to split the money with each receiving $100,000. Martise then offers Labar Bro Man Spann, a Four Corner Hustlers vice lord leader, $20,000 to kill Kato. In a previous video, we showed Martise's testimony where he admitted that he had never met the Flores twins. He just knew of their reputation as drug dealers with a lot of money and wanted to make a quick $80,000. So, did Doug and Fred know the Flores twins personally? Is there another reason why the conservative vice lords wanted Kato dead? Please, put some pressure on that like button, subscribe, and let the Cartoon News Network know in our comments section below whether you believe the Flores twins put a hit out on Kato. Yes, they were drug dealers, but they were known for making money, not violence. Did they pay the conservative vice lords $200,000 to kill Kato? If they did, the conservative vice lords didn't give it to Martise Shorty Nunnery.
Now, at the beginning you testified that you and Fred were going to split the $200,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so how much was your share supposed to be?
I was supposed to get the $100,000 from Fred, and I was going to pay Labar the $20,000.
So you were supposed to make about $80,000?
Yes.
But Fred only gave you $15,000?
Yes.
What did you say to Mr. Spann, and what did he say to you?
Well, I was telling him, that Fred was trying to get the money or whatever, and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna have to fuck Fred up if he don't come up with that money."
And who said that?
Bro Man.
What did you understand him to mean when he said, "I'm gonna have to fuck Fred up"?
Kill Fred.
Now, at this point, you had paid Mr. Spann $15,000.
Yeah.
Did you ever pay him any more money?
Yeah, maybe $2 more thousand, maybe.
Is that money you received from Fred or Doug?
No.
Where did you get that money?
Out of my pocket.
Nigga, West Side. West Side of this motherfucker. West Side of this motherfucker. White people. West Side of this motherfucker. Praying for all my friends. Things I do for my friends. We meant you, okay. Nigga, West Side.
I'll always love you, Ken.
Nigga, West Side.